He went from quiet and anonymous to becoming a 90s version of Mr. October. Yankee center fielder Bernie Williams tells us why he nearly chose music over baseball and why George Steinbrenner nearly traded him away. Plus, winning the American League Championship Series Most Valuable Player Award and winning it all at Yankee Stadium. Up Close is up next.
From the ESPN studios in Los Angeles, here's Chris Myers.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. For so long, they were the despised Yankees, the bad guys in the pinstripes. People liked not to like the Yankees, whether it was because of George or Reggie or Martin. But this year, New York went nice. From Torrey to Doc, they were a group of good guys to root for, and one of them joins us here today. We welcome Yankee center fielder Bernie Williams, looking sharp. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, nice to have you on the program. How has your life changed since winning the World Series?
Well, it has changed a lot. You know, I had to go to Puerto Rico, and they were already planning a parade and all of that, and I was like, oh man, this is like changing too much right now. But you know, I'm just gonna try to keep it all in stride. And
you like the attention?
I tell you what, not really. Not really. I'm the kind of guy that would like to, you know, I have a lot of fun on the field playing. And the other stuff, it's great. I mean, it's kind of ironic because you play so hard and you try to be the best you can. And then if you accomplish all those goals, you're going to get some attention. And that's the thing that I had a time to deal with it.
But it looks like, are you the same player that you were before, and maybe just because of the performance in the ALCS and then the team making it to the World Series and winning it, that more people are recognizing Bernie Williams as an outstanding player? Do you see it that way?
I think my progress in the league has been steady. I know that I'm not the same player that I was 4 years ago. But, you know, it seems like I was at the right time, you know, in the right situation. And it was just a great time to be going well, you know, not going through a slump and everything like that. You know, it was just a great time to be doing well.
What's the greatest difference if you're not the same player you were 4 years ago? What's different about you? What's better about you than the numbers?
I think it's a mental approach, confidence, self-confidence, having no doubts and not being afraid to make a mistake. I think that those are the things that are making me a better player right now.
Did it bother you at the All-Star break you weren't among the top 16 vote getters at your position? All of a sudden now you're a household name.
I was just glad that I was even nominated, I mean, or considered for that matter. I mean, we had such great players in the league, you know, that it was, you know, just glad to be just considered part of it.
Playing it politically. The voting was yesterday, by the way. On that.
But it was a little bit disappointing because I had a good first half, and it was kind of like a change because the years passed, I was like, well, man, when am I going to start hitting? And for the first year, this year I had a pretty decent start, so it was kind of disappointing not to make it. But you know, still, it was a great honor to be considered.
Yeah, and a great season and a great finish for the Yankees. Did you feel with this team that, and I guess it was in Sports Illustrated, you know, destiny ends with the NY. David Cohn comes back. Gooden and Strawberry, they had their comebacks. Joe Torre's brother gets the heart transplant. Jeffrey Meyer, you know, the little kid who snags the ball, right? I mean, did you feel that this team, that things were going to fall into place? Was there a sense about that as you're going through it?
Well, I felt that at some point luck has a little bit to do with it, but certainly it was not determinant. I think we had a great group of guys, we had great chemistry, and we had a lot of hard work since spring training. You know, we worked so hard and try to keep this team together, and we have a little bit of adversity, you know, during the season, and we were just able to overcome that. And but basically, I think it was just a lot of hard work.
Define when you say good chemistry with this team. Explain that.
Well, we had a lot of personalities, and it was just amazing to see, you know, all the guys blending together with a common goal. You know, I think this is one of the few years that I've seen that players were more concerned about winning and winning as a team than having personal goals, you know, obtained.
And you said that no one on this team had felt the pressure of carrying this team, which is a little bit unlike when you think of Yankee teams in the past, and usually teams that do win it all.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because people didn't feel that they had to carry the club by themselves, but everybody felt the responsibility to do the job, you know, whenever, you know, their time was, you know, called be called upon them.
And some of the veterans had to kind of step back a little bit, share time. You talk about unselfish. Wade Boggs, one of those. Paul O'Neill, another one. What was that like? When you talk about adversity, was this part of it, people having to understand their roles and deal with the reality of a changing group of guys?
I think so. I think, you know, this is a game that you want to do your best, and at some point, you know, you want to be, you know, the main man. But with the kind of quality ball players that we had on the club this year, you know, it was kind of hard for everybody to have playing time. But they just took their egos aside and just pull for each other. And that was the amazing thing about the club.
And the confidence factor, Joe Torre, even when the team was down 2-0, he ordered champagne getting ready, actually, for Game 6, going back to New York, and even told George Steinbrenner, hey, we might be down 2. You're laughing now, but at the time, it certainly didn't look good for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. You know, the first 2 games were like, wow, I think we were more spectators rather than players. You know, we were just all maybe a little bit intimidated of you know, watching all this building up, you know, the Braves and all the great pitching staff.
Were you a little intimidated?
I think I was more watching them play instead of going at them. You know, I was trying to see what they were all about instead of going from the first inning and start going aggressive at them.
What was the difference? And I bring this up because I care. 167 for you in the World Series, but don't feel bad. The Yankees as a team hit just 216, and yet were able to win. And of course, you hit 474 in the ALCS when you were the MVP. So what was the difference for you in the series?
I don't know. I think it was a little bit of the grinding of the whole season, the regular season, then going into the wild card thing with Texas, and then being all, you know, pumped up, and then going into the ALCS with Baltimore, and I was like, great, you know, great to go, and I was very excited about that. But when the World Series arrived, I was a little bit nervous, and I couldn't get to relax. I don't know. I was having a hard time relaxing, and I was tired too, you know, because of all of that. I was having the ultimate challenge, and I was at the worst moment.
So when you're nervous, though, or you can't relax, what do you go to somebody on the team for help? Do you try to deal with it yourself? Are you afraid to tell anybody because they might respect you less for being nervous at a time when you have to come through?
No, I think that the whole team had we were going through the same thing. Everybody, I mean, we had guys that were there before, guys like Reggie and Willie Randolph, Chris Chambliss, and certainly Joe, and all those guys were all there, and we certainly appreciate the fact that they were there, and they were going through that before. You know, they helped us a lot.
And how did Joe Torre, a guy who really wasn't even the first choice for the job in the first place, who people weren't sure how well he would do, played this perfectly, and even in that situation down 0-2, seemed to have control and be confident? How did he make things right for this team?
I think it's just amazing, the fact that all the things that he went through. You know, it's just amazing the fact that he kept his poise and he just kept his confidence in us. I mean, that gave us a lot of confidence. You know, he was going through the thing with his brother and his 2 brothers, you know, and he said, you know, he has all those things going into his life. You know, the World Series is a piece of cake, you know, he can handle that.
Well, what did he say after it was 0-2 and you're heading, you know, losing at home and then heading to Atlanta? Did he say something special to the team?
Well, basically what he said was that he had, you know, confidence in us. And that was the greatest thing, you know. He never lost faith in the fact that we were able to come back and give us a chance, you know, and work some chance for us to win. And you know, he left it at that. You know, he knew that we knew what we had to do to come back, and you know, he left it at that. He knew, you know, he realized that we were professionals, and we were very much aware that the things we had to do to get the goal accomplished.
Down 0-2 and then sweeping, winning 4 straight to win it all, something that's never been done before in the World Series. Bernie Williams of the Yankees did that. We'll talk to him about, well, how you get to the World Series and how you get to Carnegie Hall. I think just a lot of practice, right? We'll be back in a moment.
Up Close is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way to save on collect calls.
Fastest man in football, take 2, and action.
All right, Rocket, show us how easy it is to dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I just did it.
Did what?
Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
Well, can you do it slower next time?
Fastest man in football, take 3.
Okay, try it again. Show us how easy it is to dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I just did it.
Did what?
Dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
You did?
Can we go to replay? Dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it saves.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair and for some people gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
Uh-oh. Boom.
Would you like to dance?
What? You believe this? Unbelievable.
There's a bit I want to show you.
Nice pants.
Dockers Stonewash khakis.
What are you doing to the boards?
Throw elbow.
Guy's on a fast break.
Trip him.
When a guy looks at you.
Refer to his mother.
What's this? He's got it. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
No more. No more.
Wait, this isn't me. I gotta play with decency, honesty. I gotta play clean.
Nice shot.
After one of the best series in Major League history, Bernie Williams won the ALCS MVP award and stepped into the national spotlight, but it wasn't always that easy or that perfect. In 1990, Bernie went to spring training with the Yankees expecting to make the big leagues. Instead, he was demoted from AAA down to AA, and we're continuing our conversation with the Yankees center fielder. How close were you actually during that demotion or any time through that about maybe thinking about quitting baseball?
Well, I guess I was a little confused at the time, and I was very frustrated because of the fact that I was working so hard, and I seemed to be going nowhere. I made great steps in the minors in my 87. That was my second year. That's when I turned to be a switch hitter, and that was the thing that put me on the map, because I learned, in the second year, and then I won the batting championship on Class A. And then after that, I was, like all this prospect. And in 90, they decided not to rush me and have me from AAA going to AA. And I felt that I didn't want to go back down to AA again. I felt like I proved my point in AA.
So you were insulted. So what'd you say? Did you?
No, I wasn't really insulted. I was just frustrated because I thought I had my, I accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish in AA, and but they felt differently. And I was just feeling very frustrated at the time, and I called my mom and I said, "Mom, I think I'm going home." And she said, "Well, you're not a quitter. This is not a time for you to quit. So you just, hang in there and keep working hard, and just think, just see how things go."
Obviously, good for Mom. With Mother knows best, because she probably wouldn't be here today or have been a part of the World Series.
That's very true.
The verbal abuse or teasing you took when you got up to the major leagues. Mel Hall is one name that jumps out. There may have been others. I think they call it some true hazing going on. Do you recall that, getting teased a lot?
I recall some of it, but I wouldn't want to make a big deal out of it, because every rookie that goes to the big leagues at some point in that year goes through that. So it's not
part of the process. So.
Oh yeah.
But with given your personality,
I think the bad thing about it is that I didn't want to fight back. I didn't see any sense of fighting back that thing. I was just I was there, and I was given the opportunity to play, and I was going to take the most out of that opportunity, no matter what they were going to say.
Should you have fought back, do you think? What'd you learn from that?
Well, I learned that you got to keep your patience and be very perseverant, and no matter what they say, just keep with your plan, and a lot of things are going to happen.
I know rookies come up today. Do you tease them a little bit?
No, I certainly learned from that experience that the time that I went through, it's certainly a time that I would not want anybody to go through. So, it doesn't make any sense for me to give them a hard time. They have fought so hard to be to this, being in this level. So I'm not about to make it any harder for them.
And George Steinbrenner actually at one point was questioning whether you had, I don't know if it was the toughness or the outspokenness to play, considered, at least the rumors were trading you on the trading block. Then General Manager Gene Michael knew better. Did you hear about those rumors? Anyone ever talk to you about that?
Yeah. At some point, I guess the most important thing about it was that they were probably mistaking shyness for weakness, and that was one of the things that I had to prove my point. Bottom line is that you got to perform. But if you show some emotion, at least you're showing some people that you're trying. But if you don't show anything and you just keep it all to yourself, it raised some doubts about your aggressiveness and your, emotion on the field. But once I proved my point that I was able to play and put some numbers up, everything else went well.
Plus, you're playing center field at Yankee Stadium. I mean, that just isn't any other ballpark or any other position. In '93, Roberto Kelly gets traded to the Reds, and you take over that spot. I mean, this, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, you can't help but hear those names or hear people talk about the comparisons. How intimidating was that?
Well, I wasn't really too much aware of that, or I put myself in a position not to be much aware of that at the beginning, because I didn't want to put any extra pressure on me. I knew about them, and over the years, I've grown to be very much aware of that tradition, and I've grown to feel very proud of that. The fact that I'm one of the guys that have played in that position, and certainly I would feel very flattered because of the comparisons. But at any time, I would feel that those are legends.
Right, you don't belong in that.
Those are legends, definitely. And I certainly have a long ways to go.
Well, and when you first were in that spot and were struggling a little bit, Willie Randolph was the one who said that you were guilty of overanalyzing your play. Do you agree with that?
I think so. I think at some point, baseball is a very funny game. You try to do a lot sometimes, and things don't go too well for you. And then sometimes the less you do, the more you get accomplished. And I think one of the most important things that he talked to me about was not to be afraid of success. I was getting to a point that I was everything was going right for me, and at those times you doubt yourself. You said, well, am I good enough? Is this just happening because I'm going through a good streak, or is this a thing that I can do on a daily basis? And he was just telling me, don't be afraid of success, man. You've got the talent, and there's no question about it. If not, you wouldn't be here. So just don't be afraid, and keep going out there every day and do your thing.
All right, and we'll talk about success in the music area. That could be Bernie Williams' first love. We'll ask him. We're going to put him on the spot with that. We're at the Yankees center fielder up close here in Los Angeles. We'll have more in a moment. Don't go away.
Music Express, voted #1 by the National Limousine Association, has offices in Los Angeles and on the East Coast. Music Express can handle your corporate needs anywhere in the U.S. and worldwide. And guests of Up Close stay at the Beverly Prescott, L.A.'s premier boutique hotel. Call your travel agent to make reservations at the Beverly Prescott, a Kimpton hotel.
Honey, I've been thinking. You're right. Yeah? We should get a brand new Mitsubishi big screen TV at Gabowitz. We wouldn't have to pay anything down, no interest, no monthly payments till January of '98. You're so good with numbers. Well, let's do it.
Yeah!
Nuts. Your dream awaits at Gabowitz in East Brunswick.
ETD Discount Tire Centers. We are Discount Tires. At ETD Discount Tire Centers, we feature top name brand tires, plus smart service. With smart service, your automotive service work gets done right the first time. You pay for only what you authorize, and all services are backed by our written limited warranty. Your car is always ready when promised. This is our commitment to 100% customer satisfaction. ETD Discount Tire Center, located on Route 1 North, Monmouth Junction in South Brunswick, next to Major Car Wash and Mr. Goodloo.
Football games you can't get on TV where you live. You'd have to do this. There's a better plan. ESPN Game Plan. The games you want sent right to you. Call your cable operator or DirecTV for ESPN Game Plan. See Friday's USA Today for Saturday's Game Plan.
On the next SportsCenter, the end of an era at UCLA, the Bruins begin the new season without Jim Herrick. Baseball continues without an agreement, and the goodwill of the World Series may be quickly washed away. Plus, the fallout at BC, all at 6:30 Eastern.
We're back here on Up Close talking with Bernie Williams of the Yankees at age 8. About the time he started playing baseball, started playing the guitar. Went to 4 years of music high school, the classical guitar. And people tease you about what's more important to you, music or baseball. So how about it?
Well, you put me on the spot there. But baseball is a very important part of my life right now. But I sort of grew up with both. Trying to do my best on both, but it just happens to be that baseball opportunity was there, and I could only play baseball while I was young. So at about 16, 17 years old, I started playing baseball professionally. So at some point I had to make a decision between one or the other, and I chose baseball.
So baseball, the job, and music, the fun hobby?
It's sort of like it. I really would like to maximize my potential in music, because I think I spent a lot of time in high school with it, and it was pretty serious. It was very serious. But baseball is very important right now, and I guess when I retire or do some other things, music is going to be very big.
Yeah, you're only 28 years old, so we had a ways before that. Would you rather have dinner with Babe Ruth or Mozart if you had a choice?
I'll probably try to arrange for both.
So you pick up the tab, that's a little more money.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you would rather Mozart, right? I mean, you'd have a lot more to talk about, it would seem.
Yeah, they're both very intense personalities. I mean, certainly be great to have the opportunity to talk to both of them. It's a situation that it's just amazing.
Who are some of your favorite musicians today?
I like Pat Metheny. I like John Williams, Julian Bream, and used to listen to a lot of Segovia in school.
Who does he play for? How about Jimi Hendrix? What about Jimi Hendrix?
He's great too. He was great too, and the Pioneers. And I'm more deviating more to jazz and blues now, which was the forbidden thing in high school. We weren't allowed to touch some of that stuff. But now I think one of the most important things that I drew from that school is appreciation of music. And I got a great time, and the knowledge of appreciating either Mozart or B.B. King, and that's a great thing to have.
Could you be, we got about 30 seconds before the break, could you be the baseball player you are today without your interest or passion for music?
I don't think so. I think a lot of the way that I approach the game, it has a lot to do with the discipline that I obtained practicing my guitar, and the years of just discipline and confidence that the guitar gave me.
All right, we'll continue with Bernie Williams. Be back to wrap things up, talk about George Steinbrenner, Reggie Jackson, Doc, and Darryl. Don't go away. We'll be back in a minute.
The topical pain reliever arthritis specialists choose for themselves and their families needs no prescription. It's Zostrix. In a national survey, rheumatologists chose Zostrix 11-to-1 over the next leading brand. Rheumatologists choose Zostrix for their own.
This is for Mr. Blanchard, who told me to make something of myself. For Miss Miller, who never let me settle for a C. For my parents, who believe in my dreams. For myself, for my future.
Be all that you can be.
One name that's always on the job, Arrow. The Arrow T50 staple gun for insulation and 1,001 household uses. The hot melt glue gun with automatic lever feed for home repairs and arts and crafts. T50 staple gun, hot melt glue gun. Arrow, you'll grow attached.
Hey, I'm Sean Murray, and this is where I won the title for the expression session on the Pro Tour. To win it there, I started out with a hoochie glide to fakie, pulled in for a switch stance front flip, then went for a tantrum to fakie. Stuck that pretty good, and then went out for a bellowed or blindside, kind of butt checked out on that one. And then I went in for a scarecrow. As I pulled in close to the wake, threw the backside mauve, and then I thought I'd go through a scarecrow Mobius, and made it all right. Then I threw a method roll to revert, and then threw a half cab roll, just the opposite, and then pulled in for an
Hope you'll be with us Thursday on Up Close. We'll talk hockey with Jeremy Roenick, one of the more talented and entertaining personalities in the NHL. And on Friday, we'll talk some baseball with Ken Caminetti. He opens up about an addiction that he's still trying to beat. And those MVP numbers, he'll talk about that too. Up next, we'll talk more baseball with Bernie Williams, the Yankees center fielder. How much of what he's heard about the boss does he actually believe?
All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow, your butts are mine. Lights out.
Man, I'm hungry.
Russell Athletic Wear is made to handle the toughest situations on and off the field.
Hot dog.
French fries.
Hamburger.
Tacos.
Tacos grande.
Pizza.
Coach, going somewhere, ladies. Hard work.
Dedication. Commitment.
Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Get up there, Lord, bud. Go, go.
Here's the thing. Most long-distance plans, very complicated.
Oh, yeah.
But the AT&T one-rate plan, very simple.
How simple?
Calls from home are one low rate all the time.
How much?
It's 15 cents a minute to anybody in America at any time.
And this is AT&T.
That's right.
One rate all the time.
Exactly.
Is there any time when this is not the rate?
There is no time when this is not the rate.
I don't get it.
Am I just being unclear?
No restrictions, no games. The AT&T one-rate plan.
ESPN News. Peterson, he doesn't even know what ESPN is. I was like, you watch ESPN News? He was like, what? He doesn't even know what ESPN stands for. ESPN stands for, like, it's like sports in Spanish, right?
Continental Airlines, now among the best in the business at getting you to your destination on time.
We're winding down with Bernie Williams of the Yankees, and a star was born, they said, in the postseason with the kind of performance you had, the Yankees winning it all, a 90s version of Mr. October, which brings to mind, of course, Reggie Jackson. What kind of influence, since he holds the title of being a consultant with the team in the front office, what kind of influence did he have on this team this year?
He's been a good influence. I think the fact that he went through that, what, 20 years ago, 18, 20 years ago?
Late 70s, yeah.
He's been able to put his input and all the experiences that he went through. You know, some of the guys, myself included, we've been able to pick his brain a little bit, you know, in certain situations, you know, when the pressure arrives, and, you know, he's been very helpful.
And George Steinbrenner, who he's had his clashes with over the years, and some say that Reggie should be more than a special advisor in the Yankee organization, has a reputation as being a meddling owner, although this year Joe Torre says he was more hands-off. How much have you had a chance to talk with George Steinbrenner? If you were able to sit down with him, what would you tell him?
Well, I don't know. I would definitely would like to have a conversation with him. You know, it's been... unfortunately, most of the things that I know about him has been the things that I've read in the paper.
Are they not too good?
And, yeah, but I want to realize that you know, you won't judge a book by its cover. Definitely, we've got to certainly give him a chance to know the man, and then make my decision from there.
And certainly, what he's done for Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry, giving them a chance. They responded.
Certainly
both of their options have been picked up.
Credit. Yeah.
And your situation, now you're eligible for arbitration, and if you have arrived on the national scene, as we have pointed out, you will command big dollars, and the economics will be an issue with the Yankees, as they always are. Do you expect to be paid in the $6 million, $7 million a year neighborhood?
I don't know. I certainly would like to be compensated market value, with whatever that means, you know. But that's one of the parts of the baseball that I really would like to just, you know, get over with and then start playing, which is the fun part, and that's the part that I enjoy doing the most.
Can you envision yourself playing anywhere else other than with the Yankees? Other than maybe at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, well, I really love the Yankees. That's the organization that I've grown with, and the fans in New York, you know, they know their game, and I certainly know how to applaud their heroes, and it was just amazing the fact that, you know, with that parade and everything going over there in New York, I've never seen anything like it in my life. But you know, this is a business, and I certainly would like to have an opportunity to you know, to fulfill my dreams as a baseball player, but certainly the Yankees have been very great to me.
And certainly it would be a great town to spawn your music career in as well. Thanks for coming by, Bernie, and congratulations again. It's really nice having you on the show. Have fun. We appreciate Bernie being with us here on Up Close. We'll see you tomorrow here. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care from Los Angeles.